Hello, Alesha. I like to give my students some direct feedback on their papers just because I feel like if we start giving the direct feedback now, it's easier to correct in the future. So what you did, you started out with some really good bones to your paper. I like that you are keeping in mind the author and how which paragraph came from which author via the feedback, and how you have your references here. So I'm going to show you how this works when I put it into a Word document. Okay, so here is your paper put into a Word document. And what I did here is I selected everything, and then usually a little this little tab comes up. I put everything in Times New Roman and 12 point because for APA style, that is what is required, and also each paragraph has to be indented. So that was a quick, easy fix, and it just makes things look a little bit more organized. So I'm going to start with the reference page. Okay. So here we are. I clicked on your first reference, and the author is Andrew Crystal. Now, one of the things that I want to show you is on each paper, they always have a citation to help you do the citing. So you go over here to citation and click on it. Then what pops up over here is the different types of citing, and we're using APA. So I am going to copy that and then go back to your paper. And here so far is your reference section. The reference section should be on a separate sheet, which is easy enough to do. But I copied your first reference. So I'm going to put references. There we go. And just paste what I copied. So this is what your first reference should look like, and that's in APA style. So I'm going to take this and delete it. Let me see if the same article has a similar paper that I can just bump out and reference as well. Yes, here we go. Here's your second paper. Let me see, citation. Was that the same one, or is this a different one? Let me see. Copy. Okay. So I will do the next one. All right, so here's your next paper. Here where it says citation, you just click on that, and it will bump out a reference APA style. You just copy that and then go back to your paper and also paste. Now because Crystal is after Colful, and this ends up being in alphabetical order, we just bump this guy up here. And so here you have the first two references that you listed. Just to make everything in APA style, I am going to select this, go over to my tab here, put things in Times New Roman, and also 12 point. This is a little bit less important just because you're going to learn this more as you go along. But typically what you do here is we do an indent here. So the first last name, everything gets indented and moved over. So that is what a reference sheet looks like, APA style. So you can easily go back and fix this. As well, that was the first thing to address, and that was pretty easy, so I just wanted to start with that. The second thing is, in your sentence, the topic I chose to reflect on is dealing with those affected with a combination of PTSD disorders and sleep disorders. Fantastic. This is your sentence. You do not have to reference it at all. But secondly, here, when you say people with PTSD have triggers coming from a variety of noises and smells, or even triggers from familiar like locations and settings. While you may know this information, to state it in your paper, you have to have a reference. And what it seems like is this entire first paragraph is referenced by this Matthew Tull guy. So let's see if I can find the paper as well and just make this nice and easy. Alrighty. So, while this comes from an online source, I'm going to show you another resource for you. It's called Son of a Citation. And this was created especially for students when they could not find how to cite things. So you click on APA format, and it is a website. And I'm going to put what you referenced here. There we go.
What lies inside all of us is more than data, it's life. What's flowing through America's veins is its diversity. And it's those
result found. This is the guy. So this is what we want to cite. I'm sorry, just because it's a free ad, sometimes advertisements come up. So this seems to be the date and the guy that we are working on. You go to continue. The author, his last name is Tull. So I'm going to just fix this. And everything else seems to be fine. And complete citation. View free sponsored message.
Citation Machine Plus lets you scan for accidental plagiarism.
So it's just a
check your grammar.
Yeah, so this site is useful. It helps you do a variety of things for collegiate writing, which is great. But it also helps students figure out how to cite things. All right, we're done. And here's our citation. So copy citation, and then you can go right back over to your paper. And so Mr. Tull, I'm going to put at the end. Here we are. And he already they already indent and everything for you, so that's great. So what you need, since this is a one-person citation, it makes it easy. In this sentence up here, when you were reading the article, this information, after you read it, you got it from this article. The only thing is you just did not know how to reference it, and that's fine. So you just put the last name in parentheses and the year. And that is your citation for citing things that are not your work within the body of the paragraph. And I'm just going to make sure everything is the right. Okay, and then you put your period. So that's great. And that's how you reference things when you paraphrase. Now here, when you use your quotes, this is fantastic what you did here, because when you use someone else's words, and very often sometimes when we read a paper, someone else really can express it in a great way, and that you just want to use that, so that's great. You use the quotations here, and it seems like this Tull gentleman was also the person who wrote the paper where you got this reference. And so you just reference it as well after the sentence, and then we don't need this here. So, PTSD can affect people in numerous ways. One in particular is the way that they sleep. Individuals can do sleep studies to determine how it affects the human body in dealing with ties with relationships based on brainwaves signals. Okay, so we're going to reference this guy one more time because I'm sure that's what you read in the article. And there we go. Your first paragraph is all referenced. You can just fix this this different, I think it's because I pulled your paper in from another type of a format. it just takes a moment to get this all set up so it follows the right paragraph form. But when you're in your word processing document, it's not going to do that. So alrighty, and here we are, and this first paragraph is complete. So I just wanted to show you how to do the first paragraph. Now, because this is, you do have a reference sheet, but how I wanted you to do this isn't perfect. You're going to lose a couple of points, but not many. And during the writing workshop that we start on Tuesday, we will explain and talk about all of these things. So I hope this video helped you understand a little bit better how to do in-text citing, as well as complete your reference sheet. And not only does it give your author credit to where you can see their name, but we also do have the link if someone wants to go and read the paper that you're referencing. So these are just a couple little logistic things that are adjustments, and if you have any additional questions, you can email me. But here is your video on my feedback on your paper.